Hello, this is Benjamin. Welcome back. Today we're going to be editing the M16 Nebula, the Eagle Nebula. It was shot using a L-eXtreme from Optolong duo narrowband filter. And the tools we're going to be using are obviously Pixinsight. We're going to be using Bill Blanchin's color masks. Scripts, we're going to have the SETI Astro installed as well as the toolbox installed. And on the processes, we're going to have narrowband normalization installed, which we may or may not use. General hyperbolic stretch, which we'll definitely use. And all of the exterminators, the StarXterminator, the BlurXterminator, and the NoiseXterminator. So we're going to be using all those tools. First things first, let's give this an unlinked stretch so we can see what we're working with. That's what we've got. So the first thing I always do is crop out the stacking artifacts with dynamic crop. So you can see there at the top we've got a green line where it didn't stack properly, or where the drizzle, I'm sorry, not the drizzle, the dither took effect. So let's crop that out, and we're dealing with that now. Lost my process console. There it is. So let us run a BlurXterminator cycle. Sharpen stars, sharpen non-stellar, and let's run it. Alright, now I've been liking the SETI Astro Automatic DBE tool. I think it's a really good tool. And for background extraction, so let's execute that and see what it does. Alright, so that's the background it took away. So it took a little bit of, might be a little bit of nebulosity down there, but definitely got rid of the red here in the corner, which is good, and the lightness up here, so that is good. So let's run an unlinked stretch again, see what we've got. You can see a very flat image. There's still plenty of nebulosity. So it just might have taken away a little bit of color, but it didn't take away any structure, so that's good. So let's go ahead and get the stars out of here as soon as possible with the StarXterminator. Alright. Now for my stars, I've been using, let's rename the layer first, stars. Now, I've been using the script under SETI Astro for star stretch, and I've been liking that. I typically get my stretch amount to about a little under 6, right around 6. And for this, I don't want the colors boosted in my stars, so I'm actually going to be taking the colors out of my stars, because in all this nebulosity, I like nice, crisp, white stars. So let's execute that. And then we'll go into all processes, curves transformation, saturation, and pull that saturation down quite a lot. Leave a little bit of feel of color, but mostly the crisp white stars. And let's get this out of the way. Alright. See, we've got lovely detail. There's the pillars of creation. Off to the side, but the pillars of creation. We're at such a wide angle that it just doesn't pay to even drizzled 2x. It just doesn't give a lot of data there to really zoom in on the pillars of creation. So we're going to go with a wide angle view of the nebula, the whole Eagle Nebula. Here's the head, wings, and tail. Egg, maybe. I don't know. There's this little spot down here. I'm not sure what that feature is, but so the first thing we're going to do now is let's begin stretching. I'm going to go to the general hyperbolic stretch. I'm going to turn off the auto stretch and just get an initial point somewhere in the data. Send that to the symmetry point and start stretching. Now I have a habit to stretch too far, so I'm going to stretch not far enough because I can always stretch more if I need to. So now I like to get this little corner here. That should be a little smoother. So let's send that to the symmetry point. Let's stretch it. Let's pull that back a little bit with the protect highlights. And let's play with the symmetry point slider, see if there's a better spot. I like it a little bit more like that. Except that. Now let's go with the same general spot right there. Stretch it a little bit more. Local intensity a little bit more. A little bit less. Pull down the protect highlight slider a little bit and play with the symmetry slider. Let's go to there. And let's stress out a little bit of this data that's pretty powerful, but it is hidden at the moment. That's right there. Let's stretch just a little bit. Local intensity a little bit. Protect highlights down to save the core a little bit. We can do stuff with that later. Except that. Now let's leave it there for the moment. Let's go with the linear transformation type. And let's darken our blacks some. Get a feel for how this looks. Let's watch the low clipping point, so we only clip a couple percent of pixels. We don't want to clip them all. So go something in this area. And let's go back to linear and let's move our triangle over a little bit more. That's symmetry point. I'm sorry, but linear didn't click over for me. And pull the blacks down a little bit more. Except that. Now for the generalized hyperbolic stretch. Do we want to stretch any more? Let's play with another stretch, but we might not keep it. Like I said, I have a habit of stretching too much. Let's go with that. But I think I want to try and get some of the background a little bit more. Alright. Let's go with that for the moment. Let's go into our histogram transformation tool and see what we want to do. If we want to not fine tune, if we want to change anything, more like sledgehammer than fine tune, but that looks nice. Now let's go ahead and run a NoiseXterminator. Get rid of some of this noise. You can see it is in there quite heavily. This is 2 hours and 40 minutes worth of data, by the way. 300-second exposures with an ASI294MC Pro camera through a 75mm Apertura 75Q refractor operating at 405 millimeters, or a focal length of 405 millimeters. So NoiseXterminator. Alright. Now normally I use the narrowband normalization tool, but I've got such a color variance here already, and I like this red color. So I'm going to not use it today, and let's go with a yellow mask. Let's see if we can't turn this yellow a little blue. I think it looks better that way. Get a little bit more of a so see that the mask is not gonna do that, but let's play with this mask anyway. Let's see, mask. Don't show the mask. Process all processes. Curve transformation. So what are we dealing with here? We've got everything. Everything bright. That's okay. Kind of make it a golden orange color. That's for the saturation. Let's bring it down a little bit, or up, down, up, down. Let's bring it down for the moment. Just a little bit down. All right. So we went from, let's delete our yellow mask. We went from this to this. Subtle change. But this is about subtle. This image is not supposed to knock your socks off in an overwhelming way. It's supposed to knock your socks off in a beauty way, which I guess makes sense. Now I'm going to use the Fame script under SETI Astro Fame, freehand adaptive mask editor. I'm going to use the freehand portion and kind of isolate my yellows. Color yellow. Blur it quite a lot. Let's take a look at this mask. Alright, that did not work at all. So let us not go with the yellow, let's just go with that mask. Because we need to click the binary mask so that gives us some kind of mask. Alright, we're learning as we go. Let's close this out, and there's our mask. Let's apply the mask to the image and minimize that mask file. Let's go into all processes, curve transformation, and we want a little bit of blue in the brightest spot. That's gonna be that's not gonna work. Giving us blue in the darks. So let's see if we can cancel that out. There we go. A little bit of blue. So that goes from there to there. Very subtle change, but you know, it's a nice change. Let's accept that. Let's not do it again. Close that out. Let's remove our mask. We're going to keep our mask file around because we might use it again. So let's add some more contrast to the whole scene with the curve transformation with no mask applied. Go to the RGB/K, bring up a preview. Get a nice little S curve going. That looks pretty nice. That went from there to there. Darken the darks a little bit more. Don't want to bring out too much of that marbled look, but there's gas there. I have trouble pulling out enough gas from the blacks to make it look good. It just kind of looks marbled, and it's got a real dirty look that I don't like. So let's go with that. And now we'll use the background neutralization. Not sure I like that. Let's go with the Bill Blanchin's neutralization. And that I like. That's better. Gives it a nice color, but the blacks stay pretty neutral. I like that. Now let's run the background neutralization again. Not the Bill Blanchin, the regular background neutralization, see what we get. And I think that those two together make a real nice pair. I'm going to bring down the brights in the core a little bit, so let's put our Fame mask back on. The mask we made in the freehand mask editor. Let's go and pull up our curves transformation. Just pull down all the colors a little bit. Push up. Up. Nope, lost it. Hold on. Using the L factor, the lightness factor. Pulling down the lightness a little bit. Now let's go to the contrast. Pull the darks down a little bit. Push the brights up a little bit. Just kind of make that stand out a little bit more. I like that. Also kind of adds a vignette effect because we were just editing the middle. Let's remove the mask. And so it's brightest in the middle and darkest on the outside edges. It kind of gives a nice little vignette type effect to it. So I want to see what it looks like with the stars. So let's go with the pixel math. Normal formula, starless times stars with the tildes. And we've got a picture that looks exactly like, not that, because we had to rename this one to starless. So that's what we've got. I think that looks pretty nice, actually. I like that. I wish I could bring a little bit of the reds out of here. It's just hard because it's such a blend, and that it tends to create a very very harsh transition. Let's go back into the Fame mask, freehand adaptive mask editor, and zoom in. Let's see if we can't do something. Let's try it out. This might not work. Do the freehand, and let's just select our red. And like I said, this might not work, but let's go ahead and blur that quite a lot. Let's turn the blur up all the way, and let's get us a mask. It blurred out so much it's just an oval. So let's apply that to the starless image, apply that mask, and let's go and see if we can't change the color a little bit. So let's try to take out some of the red. Green, blue, red, see if we can't take it out without affecting the surrounding area too much. It's kind of gray. Let's go with that. It actually looks nice. Mask, remove the mask. Let's minimize that mask. And that's a pretty nice image of M16, I think. So let's go ahead and, well, there's one thing that bothers me, and this is how dark this band is in here. So let's go back to our larger mask, our larger first frame mask. Apply it. Let's go with the all processes. Let's go with transformation this time. Transformation. Let's see if we can't lighten that up a little bit. And the answer is no, we can't, not with this mask, but I'm actually adjusting the whole core a little bit, bring out a little bit more contrast. So let's go back into our frame editor. And this time let's select the black area here that bothers me. Again, let's blur 140 this time, and let's see what our mask looks like. Alright. Let us remove our mask, because we already have a mask on. Let's put our new mask on. Now let's go ahead and go into the curve transformation and see if we can't raise those blacks a little bit. They are just too dark and they are bothering me. Success. Another round. Right there. Oops, mask, remove the mask. And I believe let's call that a finished image. That looks pretty darn nice. Yeah. Looks nice. M16, not the Omega Nebula, the Eagle Nebula. There's the Pillars of Creation. Thank you very much for joining me, and this was M16, the Eagle Nebula. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.